Welcome back to another recap and prediction video on my channel. Basically in today's video, I will be just giving a brief recap of the week, and I'll also be giving my prediction on what I think the company and the stock will be doing over the next few weeks to come. If you do enjoy these type of videos where I'm just giving a brief recap of the week, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I know it can be hard to keep up with the daily, bi-daily videos that I'm posting about the stock. I know a lot of people have, lives. I can't relate. And, I know it can be tough to really keep up with it all. So if you do want a type of video, maybe towards the end of the week, Friday, Saturday, where I just talk about what all what all went down in the week, what deals were made, what news and updates came out, definitely let me know. Once again, I can make sure I put these out every single week because I really just love putting out content that you guys want to see. But with that being said, let's go ahead, let's jump down into it and let's see what all happened over the week, and let's talk about what all is going on in the future. Now, obviously, one of the biggest takeaways from the week is that Hyliion did announce a big deal with CAT, which is a transporting company over Canada, America, and Mexico. Now, currently CAT is in a developmental stage in the testing phase with Hyliion. They did get a few orders of the Hypertruck ERX, and they're testing them out on their trucks to just kind of see what, how much Hyliion could actually help them, what benefits would come, and if what Hyliion says is really true. It's kind of like a feeling out phase, and I do believe that it's going to go well. From what it seems, it's going well already, and so hopefully that does continue over the next few weeks to come. Now, CAT did go ahead and say that if everything does continue to go well, that we could see them possibly ordering up to 100 Hypertruck ERXs in the soon future, and have their whole fleet using them, because CAT's owner did say that they've been seeing certain problems in their trucks ever since they decided to go green and start using compressed natural gas. Now, a few of those problems being things like their engine stalling, the engines overworking themselves on hills, no onboard auxiliary units, just different little problems like those that they believe Hyliion can really help them out with. So again, we will continue to just see how that does work out. Hopefully that deal and that agreement does keep going, because I believe that a company like CAT has a lot of ties, and that could be a lot of word of mouth advertising for Hyliion. And so hopefully the domino effect will continue through them, and there's really no big mess ups. But that was the one big deal of the week that did come out. Now, there were other venture caps such as Victoria Grace that did release somewhat, of a 6% holding in Hyliion. So there are other companies that are starting to invest in Hyliion, and I believe the domino effect is continuing for them. So it will be interesting to see next week what other companies do come out. I feel like there's been a lot of investments that are being made into Hyliion, and now that they are finally being released through the SEC, it's really nice to see that there's so many other big venture caps that do believe in Hyliion and have faith in their product and think that they have what it takes to make it. So that is some other news. There are a few other companies that were going ahead and starting to invest in the Hyliion, and it's being released now. This week we saw major shorting happening from Hyliion. Now, of course, shorting does push the stock price down a lot, and so we have been seeing very major, decline in the stock price itself. But one thing that I did want to take notice of and bring notice to you guys to is that we're starting to notice the decline start of, somewhat sort of stall out a little bit. We're seeing these shorters starting to have to cover their shorts. We're seeing them not be so effective and the stock price not drop so dramatically at the market open. And we're starting to see these shorters not have as much success as they were having last week. Because if we do go ahead and take a look at when this big drop did start, from about $53 down to about $29 was a very, very fast and drastic drop. It was very quick and very scary. But one thing we're noticing is that these shorters aren't having as much success. There have been a couple green days, once every, blue moon, it seems. But we're starting to see that the stock is starting to kind of meet a lot of more resistance. And that is definitely a good thing for investors who are trying to get this thing to go up, obviously, in the future. Now, again, this is very, very important, because if these shorters are just constantly drilling this stock down, it's gonna hit the ground. There has to start to be some resistance. People buying. We saw one person buy like almost a couple million shares of Hyliion. We didn't note that. The shorter volume is starting to decrease, which is very interesting. And one thing I'm noticing about the shorter, like the market of shorters that are out there, is that they're very bandwagony. It's like, it seems like every shorter on the market right now is smashing Hyliion. And I think that as it does continue to stall out a bit, they'll start to find another company that to just drill to the ground. And hopefully we'll start to see a little bit more of a bounce back in Hyliion. That would be very nice, especially right now. But at the same time, I have no issue with dollar cost averaging my way down, because I do believe that once again, one day this stock is going to start to make a recovery. These shorters aren't going to do this forever, hopefully. And so hopefully we will then be able to see some green days, some green weeks, weeks and some green months to come. Now, one thing I am noticing about this current drop that we've been seeing, I know I highlighted it a few minutes ago, is that we're starting to see it slow down a bit. Now, it's starting to somewhat resemble the drop that happened in June and July, where it was up, the big news, and it kind of made a hard drop, and it started to slowly start to slow it down a bit, stall out a bit, and then trade sideways for a few weeks. Now, it starts to seem like this drop that we are seeing as of recently is starting to do somewhat of the same thing, and I do believe that once this stock starts to meet a lot of resistance and the shorters don't find as much success, by then, especially around election times, they will find other stocks to smash, and I think that that's whenever we'll start to see the true investors start to bring this thing back up. I think we're, as investors, we're currently just against a big group of shorters who are just smashing this thing down. And it's, because you look, there's really no bad news. There's not much reasons for people to really hate on this stock at all. We're just seeing it get smashed down right now. So hopefully whenever we start to see it equal out a little bit and maybe trade sideways for a week or two, I'm going to take that as a sign that I need to get in. I'm not saying you should too, but don't be surprised if you see me, the video, why I just invested $5,000 in the Hyliion stock. That would be coming soon, because as soon as I start to see this thing start to stall out, I'm going head first into it. And so I've kind of just been waiting on that. But it's very interesting to say the least. This is something I haven't seen in the market before. I only turned 18 last year, so I couldn't invest up until then. My parents really wouldn't let me. But I've been watching the stock market for a good bit of time now, and this is something I haven't really seen that often happen to a stock, especially a company that is so good in a way, a company that has such good fundamentals and management and really not much bad press about them. Seeing it get beat down like this is definitely new, and so it'll be interesting to watch how it does affect other, companies and that, companies and stocks that have their IPOs in the future. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on it and see if this becomes like maybe a repeating pattern. Who knows? But there's really not much else to say about this week. It hasn't been the worst week. I feel like last week was definitely a lot worse than this week. Now, of course, the price is a little bit lower than it was last week, but the volume of death that we saw last week seems again to be slowing down this week. And I do believe that next week, as long as there's really no bad news, as long as, the CEO doesn't, have any fraudulent charges pressed against him that made him sign down. Sorry, I always have to give you guys the daily dose of, Nicholas shade. But as long as we just keep this train going, as long as they keep ignoring the stock price, doing these good things, getting these big deals put together, I really think that we're going to start to see this thing equal out sometime soon here. So keep an eye on it. Don't quote me on that, but I truly believe that with all of my heart. And so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on it. But that is about it for this week's recap. We had a great CAT deal. We had some companies announce that they were buying holdings in them. We've seen the shorting volume start to slow down a bit, and this company, hopefully, the stock price start to equal out a bit. So it seems like things could possibly be going well in the future here. Once again, if you do enjoy these quick recaps, if you do enjoy these brief summaries of the week, let me know in the comment section below. I can make these things every single Friday or Saturday. So once again, just let me know down there. If you did enjoy it, smash that like button. It helps me reach a new audience, and it helps me bring people to the channel who I can potentially help out, like I may be helping you out. Again, we are getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. I love each and every one of you. If you're new to the channel, if you made it this far and you do subscribe, let me know what subscriber number you are down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.